everybody? It's your boy Zack back to attack yet another video, and today I wanted to go over the Riddle School games that I played recently. I'm thinking what I'm going to start doing is making like a tier list. As you see right down there, it says Flash Games tier list. So after I go through a series of Flash games, I'll end up doing an update, and I'll keep doing this as I go through these games. But since I finished the Riddle School series, and yes, I do know that there is a sequel series called Riddle Transfer, I'll be getting to that at some point in the future, especially because I heard that there's going to be 4 of them, so I'm not going to fully go over those until I've gone through all of those, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm just going to briefly go over the Riddle School games that I've played so far, which is Riddle Schools 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This video is just going to be about the Riddle School games that I've played so far, but as we go along with this series, it'll be updated tier list for the Flash games tier list. So it won't just be Riddle School, it'll be all the games that I play. And then I'll eventually do like more realistic games or stuff like along the lines of God of War, Grand Theft Auto, stuff like that, where it's like 3D or HD type of universe, where this is just like a 2D, which is kind of what all the Flash player games are like, is just a 2D little put together video game. More than often is made by a bunch of indie game makers. The Riddle School series is a series of point-and-click Flash-based puzzle-solving games created by Jono Chrome, formerly known as John Bro. The series follows Phil Eggtree as he tries to escape his school. The player must overcome several obstacles and use clever thinking in order to help achieve his goal. Riddle School it's a fairly easy game. It's probably the nostalgia that has me loving the simplicity of this point-and-click game. It's nothing special, can be beaten in like a matter of minutes if you know what you're doing. The humor is basic, yet it's charming to me, so I personally would give this game a 6 out of 10. Which would put Riddle School somewhere along the lines of C tier. Riddle School 2 follows Phil, now in middle school, in the band room, taught by Mr. Oboe. Phil decides to make his escape from school once more, after gaining a whistle from his friend Fred, which is spelled weird with like a PH, and I don't know why. I mean, it bothers me. It bothers me. It doesn't bother anybody else. It should be spelled with an F-R-E-D. Not a P-H-R-E-D. I don't know. It's a little unique, though, so I don't know. I kind of like it, I kind of hate it. Kind of like it, kind of hate it. Anyways. Once free from the classroom, Phil must acquire 75 cents to buy a cookie to get Chubb, who is against the office door again, out of his way. I do like this game. It was enjoyable, just like the first one. And once again, it is probably the nostalgia that is kind of like makes me like it so much. But, you know, all that said, nothing does stand out. Nothing is like special with this one. It honestly feels just as difficult as the first game, and the first game wasn't difficult. It seems very basic. And although you have to keep in mind these games were made by like a younger kid at the time, and honestly, the fact that he made any of these games at the ages that he was, I'd say he like, bravo, you did done good. You done good. You did done good. You done did good. So anyways, it's a 6 out of 10 yet again. I'll put it in C tier. Is it better than the first one? I mean, maybe I don't know. The first one, it's simple. It's real simple. The second one, it takes maybe just a hair more thinking. Everything is updated just a little bit. I don't know. I'm gonna put the second one there, above the first one. But they're still at the same rank. So, Riddle School 3 follows the same premise, with Phil planning to escape yet again from Riddle High School. After solving how to get out from the classroom, Phil must check many locations to solve a few problems to attain money in order to buy some pudding for Chubb, because once again, up against the office door, which you need to gain access to in order to escape Riddle High School. The game definitely steps it up a notch with both its humor and puzzle-solving gameplay. This game takes a little longer to solve than the previous two. The creator wanted to make a better game than the previous two combined, and I'd say he delivered. I'd easily give this a 7 out of 10. I like even like the beginning of the game, whenever you're trying to get out of the first classroom, like just the first classroom alone. I remember the first time playing that it took quite a little bit for me to figure out how to get out. But having played it before, I remembered in my gameplay just like what I needed to do. But honestly, you have to use your head a little bit more to get out of that classroom. Whereas the other two games, it was pretty simple. It was just a matter of making sure you click the right things. But with this game, you really have to like look around, see what your surroundings are, and then try to piece together some things, both literally and metaphorically. You have to piece together things in order to get out of that room. And then from there, the puzzle solving and the jokes, I think it definitely improved. It definitely improved. So I will put Riddle School 3 in the B tier. I give it a 7 out of 10. It's not like great. It's not like this great puzzle solving game. Whenever you compare it to the previous entries, it is definitely a notch above, but it's not substantial. It's not like this masterpiece of a game, but if you're a fan of the Riddle School games, you're going to love this game. In fact, you might even love it so much that you think it should be like S tier, which is fine, but I'm trying to be as fair as I can because I'm a big Riddle School fan and I really love the game series. I don't want that to get in the way of me whenever I'm trying to review something, so it goes in B tier. Riddle School 4 is unique in that there is no real gameplay for this game. Although turning out as an April Fool's joke, this was a first attempt to shut down the series, as John Bro's passion to continue the series, despite the want from the Riddle School fandom, wasn't there. The game displays Phil in Riddle University, but upon clicking on anything, Phil is immediately killed by the teacher Mr. Munch, who apparently plotted Phil's death for some time now, despite feeding his boy Chubb and being nothing but helpful to the Munch family. I mean, maybe it's because you called Chubb and Miss Munch fat in the previous games, but I digress. This isn't really much of a game and can be quite aggravating whenever you are hoping that this is a legit Riddle School game. The game is still very much a part of the lore though, and clears up this incident in the next game, but as it is, by itself, I'd have to give this a 5 out of 10. I mean, I get it. It was funny, it was a joke, but if I'm actually looking at this as an actual Flash game, honestly, it would probably go into like an F tier. But it does have the point and clickness that you want in a Flash game. It just happens to be one point and click and you done. Anyways, it's gonna go in D tier. So that's where Riddle School 4 is gonna lie for now. And plus, like once you progress into like the next game, you see that it is a part of the story. So I think even if I eventually in this Flash game tier list create an F tier, I think it's gonna stay in D. It's a fail as a game, but it's still technically a part of that story, and it makes sense within the realm of the story, even though it's really a retcon, I think. But still, it's a dumb April Fool's joke game. That's what it is. But it's still gonna go in D tier with a 5 out of 10. Riddle School 5 is probably the best of the Riddle Saga thus far, having stepped up the puzzle-solving element several notches and makes up the previous game's failings. As it turns out, Phil's death from the 4th installment and the 4th installment as a whole, as well as Riddle School 2 and 3, were dreams, having been abducted after the original Riddle School game by dream-controlling aliens. So Phil must solve several puzzles to free his friends and himself from the alien ship, as well as save the universe. This game was a humongous improvement upon all of the previous entries in the series, really making you have to think, presenting a real challenge in a very entertaining and fun way. I was certainly thrown off at first, but really found myself pleasantly surprised with this one. I give it a 9 out of 10. I think it's without a doubt the best in the Riddle School saga thus far. So it's going to go all the way up past A tier to S tier. It is supreme. It is above all others, that is for sure. Honestly, and I know that there's a sequel series called Riddle Transfer, and I'm going to get to those, as I've said before. But right now, this is the Riddle School series, and then that'll be the Riddle Transfer series, and we'll just get to that, you know, whenever we get to it, and then I'll plug them into the Flash tier list of mine, and see how it goes. It's gonna be pretty hard to top that, I think, to be able to top the 5th game. Good luck. But if anybody could do it, it's probably John Bro. He absolutely knocked it out of the park. You can tell like because like these earlier games, like 1 and 2, and maybe 3, he was like 11, 12, 14, whatever. I don't know the exact age, but I know it was around that age whenever he made the first one, and then I imagine the second one, and then I don't know from there. But now he's grown up, and he's gotten like more experience under his belt, and it shows. It shows in this one, and I think it is really well done. So I'll probably just leave it there. So that is the end of this Flash Games tier list for now. Although this is a Flash Games tier list, really it was a Riddle School Games tier list. So that's what this video is going to be titled, and I'll probably just have like a series of Flash game tier lists as we add to it, and yeah. So I'm happy with how this list turned out. I think it looks good. I can only hope that the other games in the Riddle School or Riddle Transfer series matches anything close, just anything close. I'll be fine with Riddle School 5 here. Don't give me another Riddle School 4. I don't need another like click joke thing. I honestly didn't like it, but like knowing that it's an April Fool's joke, I think it's kind of funny now. And these games right here, they're classics. To me, they are always going to be classics that I will play from time to time. You know, like in a few years or so down the line, I'm sure I'll come back to Riddle School. Maybe even sooner than that. I don't know. But anyways, that's all I got for this one. So if you liked the video, hit a like. If you didn't, hit a like. Oh, I'm so tired. What is my actual outro thing? And without further ado, fellow Zackalites, if you could leave your boy Zach a like and hit the subscribe button on your way out, as I would very much appreciate it. And with that said, I'm Zack Attack, you're you. Thanks for watching.